Well, welcome back to the final press conference of round 3 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship, presented by Motul. My name's Tom Reynolds, and we're going to be joined today, obviously, by our top 3 overall, who are also our top 3 all weekend, pretty much, and our top Supersport competitor. We'll kick off, obviously, with the round winner and the race 1 winner, Mike Jones. Mike, not the perfect result, but a pretty handy one, given that you have increased your lead a little here in the championship and shown that the Yamaha is well in contention.
Yeah, absolutely. It was almost perfect weekend for us. So, stoked to come away with pole position, a race win, and the overall round win. Particularly at a circuit that isn't sort of something that's my most favourable. And obviously the challenge was to go from Queensland Raceway, a circuit that I'm very strong at and done lots of laps at, to come to a track that I don't favour very well and see how we went. And we went very well. So great weekend for myself and the Yamaha team, and just overall very happy.
I'm going to go through a couple of things here. The success and the speed that you guys managed to find between Friday and Sunday racing. Take us through a bit about how that happened.
Yeah, look, I mean, my crew chief Dylan and Kev Marshall, like they're the brains behind our motorcycle. So they made some really good changes to the bike setup, and that allowed me to be comfortable on the bike and push it to the maximum. So I think that not only was it just the motorcycle, but also I adapted myself to the circuit and found some areas to find some speed and improve on. And that came together, especially on Saturday. And that was why we were able to take the pole position. But obviously it's just the nature of this motorcycle, the Yamaha R1. It handles the tyres really well, and obviously we're very strong towards the end of the races.
Now, it's not often you draw an audible gasp from the assembled media, but you did for that pass in race 1. Take us through it, because we haven't seen a pass there in a while / ever. What brought that on? Was it just opportunity poking its head out, or what were you thinking about it? Take us through it.
It's a funny one, to be honest. I sort of half thought about it, but I wasn't sure that it would come off. And then when I tried it, I surprised myself that it was going to work. And it was a little bit touch and go there. Wayne and I got pretty close, and I think it might actually maybe scared Wayne. He rolled off the gas and moved his bike out of the way. So
we'll definitely ask Wayne about that thing.
It was a really cool pass.
Yeah, it was a very cool pass. It was, as I said, it did draw gasp up here. Race 2, a slightly different scenario. The hunter became the hunted. Obviously hole shot is important, but at this circuit, is it important to lead? As Wayne called it, is it important to do the donkey work, or is it better to be on behind hunting?
Yeah, well, based on the results, you'd say that being behind was a better strategy, wasn't it? So obviously that was the case for me in the first race, and I was able to, pass Wayne and then take the win. And then it was a reverse for race 2. In saying that, though, I do feel as though I didn't give it my best in that second race. So I believe that the potential was still there to win, regardless of whether I was leading or not leading the race early on.
All right, well, we'll move now to the second for the weekend. I'm actually almost confused here. I'll move across to Wayne Maxwell. Wayne, a pretty tough weekend for you guys. As you said, you feel like you effectively lost the day, but you managed to sort of gain that back, and certainly the win at the end must have been satisfying, but feeling nonetheless like it came late in the piece.
Yeah, like for us, it was it's been a bit of a one weekend's rolled into the next. Like I said, Phillip Island was, something out of our control, and then it rolled into the next, and it's just gone on and on. And so to be able to win a race again, and when our back's against the wall and Mike's starting to gain a bit of momentum is good for us. I really feel yesterday, without the troubles like that, we would have been able to challenge for pole. I have no doubt in my mind about that. Like, to go slower in qualifying than I went on Friday multiple times is pretty disappointing for us. And then that effectively lost our day yesterday. So all the information that we collected on Friday to try yesterday was a waste. So, we had to learn a lot in race 1 and then come out in race 2 and we're better. So effectively our race 2 bike should have been race 1, and then race 2 bike would have been even better again. So, thanks to my guys. They worked super, super hard to, give me a bike that was really good. So it was very challenging. Mike was so different. As I said to Mike when we were in the Parc Fermé, if you put like parts of his lap and my lap together, that would be unbelievable lap time. It was getting done in a lot different way to achieve the same lap time. But yeah, obviously, Mike's at the top of his game and very comfortable. And our bike, I was very uncomfortable. But so to be able to win a race when you're having a bad day is really good.
Now, to go back a bit, you've been playing catch-up in this championship since the incident at the hay shed at round 1. You now find yourself up into second in the championship. You're still adrift from Mike. You're pretty much a win behind him. There's obviously enough time, but what are your thoughts on the championship? Even though we're coming out of round 3, what are your thoughts on the championship prospects for yourself?
Yeah, it's still in it. There's enough points. I mean, if you start to win a few more races, if you have a couple of good weekends, it'll start to claw back. And yeah, racing's a funny thing, so I can't control what anyone else is going to do. We just got to try to block out the noise, do what we're going to do, and keep turning up and doing what we're doing, really.
Thank you, Wayne Maxwell. Move across to Crew Happy Day, as I've now christened him. Crew, it's hard to get you to smile, but you've had a pretty handy weekend and you've produced the result and shown, more importantly, you can definitely run with the front runners. Is that what you're taking from the weekend, or are you still as hungry as ever for that top spot?
No, of course I'm hungry as ever. It's it's a track that I usually go quite well at, and we did go quite well at, but I just didn't have the speed as these other two guys. They were the first race, yeah, probably, but I got sort of sidetracked in that last race, but it's no excuse. I just wasn't as good as these guys today, and it's hard to get a win in Australian Superbike racing because the level keeps getting risen, and Mike's obviously showing me how to get it done on the R1, and he's making me ride a bit quicker and pushing myself, and it's good. But of course I'm going to I say I'm disappointed. I'm not in the top spot, and we're going to keep chipping away at it until we are.
But this might be a season that rewards consistency, and although you've had a couple of moments, consistency started to come through for you. Is there a chance you could become the accumulator and still strike for the title, even if you're not on the top spot every week?
Well, I don't really want to win it like that. I want to actually get a race win if I ever won a championship. But, that Queensland second race really hurt me, and I'm still pretty pissed off about that. But these things happen. Like, we could go to Darwin and Mike's bike stop, or Wayne's bike stop, or they could have a crash. Who knows? You can't say it. As I said before, the pace is that hot where mistakes are going to be made, and I don't wish it upon anyone, but it's racing, it happens. So I just need to try to stay on the bike. I want to get a race win. I'm that far. I think I'm like 50 points or something behind Mike, so I'm just trying to go get race wins, and I need to start doing it now.
Yeah, I think we said in the preview, it now comes down to mathematics in a big way with the number of points on offer in the season ahead. We'll move across here to our Supersport winner on the day, John Lytras. John, we've joked multiple times, not at your expense, but certainly talking about Supersport, that the leadership in the Supersport title isn't necessarily a good thing, given the number of riders we've seen come off or otherwise lose their spot. Is it too early to lead the championship, or are you just striking for that championship win any way you can?
Well, it's a long championship. There's still, what do we got? 5, 6, 7 races still to go, whatever it is. So, there's still a lot of races that you can make mistakes in, and, we just got to finish everything as close up to the front as we can, and, see where we end up.
We saw Sean Condon pull out some great laps, but obviously it showed in the racing that he doesn't have that race fitness that you guys evidently have. For you, getting out in the front and trying to get away from the team, from the pursuers, is obviously the tactic you were trying all weekend.
Yeah, I was just trying to hit my marks and not get flushed with pressure behind me, and just try and hit my marks every lap. And we ended up working well, and we got the wins.
There's an element of last man standing here with I caught up today with Ben Baker and I caught up with Ollie Simpson, who are both injured together. Does any of that play on your mind, that really just staying in the hunt is 9/10 of winning at the minute?
Not really. You just got to keep that stuff out of your mind and, push forward and, just try and finish every race as best we can.
You've come good at the right part of the season as we head into the really heavy part of the season. What do you put that down to? Because as you said, Phillip Island wasn't great, but ever since then you've been well involved.
Yeah, Phillip Island wasn't good, but now I'm back at some tracks that I know well and that have been good to me in the past. So, and they've been good to me again this year. So, should be good. Now,
you guys go for a slightly longer break, not coming with us to Darwin. What are you going to do in this gap, this rather sizable gap, until we regroup?
Probably train hard, ride my dirt bike heaps, and that's probably about it.
Yeah, definitely don't fall off it. All right, we'll throw the questions open now to the assembled media. Anybody want to put their hand up? Oh, here he is, Trevor.
G'day guys. Great racing today, good clean racing, and some good results to shake up the championship. Still pretty close at the top, a lot of racing still to go. Who do you think, outside of you top 3, who do you think else might come forward in Darwin to challenge you 3? At the moment it's been you 3, and the others have been a little bit off the pace the last couple of rounds. We saw Herf's made some steps forward here. Because Brian had take a few steps back. So who do you think might come to the fore in Darwin and get a cat amongst the pigeons?
Pop the mic over to...
In my opinion, I think like you're looking at history, I think Brian will be good at Darwin. The Ducati's quite good there. He normally goes good there. He's been good there on the Kawasaki, maybe when it wasn't good in other places. So I'd say Brian will be quite good. I've got no doubt that these guys will be. Mike's good there. He's little, so the speed of the Yamaha will be quite good. Then that'll be it. And then Herf, I mean, you don't know. It's his getting, once he gets momentum and confidence, it's all a confidence game. Whether you're him or the guy at the back, you can make him prove himself confidence. And yeah, so probably those guys. I couldn't see, like the BMWs were okay and there's a brand new bike there, but they don't seem to have made any progress. So I don't really, Josh can go good in Darwin, as we know. But yeah, I don't know if they'll have the equipment.
All right, on to you, Mike.
I suppose it's a pretty hard question to really answer. I mean, like Wayne sort of said there, you know what I mean? It only takes something small and somebody can get their confidence or find the right, tweak or setup with the bike. So, and they can start making really, good strides forward. So, but, realistically looking at where we're at now, kind of got myself and Wayne and, crew, Brian, they seem to be the guys that are at the pointy end regularly. I don't really see how it's going to change, as the season progresses, really. That's my thoughts on it.
And what's your thoughts on the form for the rest of the field crew?
Obviously, you're going to see Brian up there. He did something pretty special on other different tyre manufacturer last year, in my eyes. But I honestly think Herfoss is starting to get his mojo back. It's him going back to that track. Yeah, there might be some dark memories, but he's a fighter, and if you look from previous results, he's gone toe to toe with Wayne around there before. So I reckon those two out of apart from us three.
Mike's got to go back and get his toe.
I didn't say that, but I honestly reckon out of the two, out of us three, those two are going to step up. So.
All right, one more for you, Mike. Obviously, you made a change of bikes this season, dramatically different bikes, seemingly the Ducati and the Yamaha. What's the primary main thing that stands out? I guess it's the Yamaha's a bit torquer and the Ducati's more higher revving. I guess that's the bigger thing. And do you think the Yamaha has suited you better, and because you did have great form on the Ducati, you had 4 podiums in the trot. Before things went awry, sort of in the middle of the season there. So just for the punters out there, really more than anything, just describe the main difference that you have on the bike.
Yeah, so I think that the big differences between the motorcycles are the way the power is delivered. So obviously the Ducati, I compare them more to like 2-stroke and 4-stroke bikes. The Ducati to me is more like a 2-stroke. It makes all the power at the top, and it's a very revvy engine. 16,500 RPM or something like that. So it's it's a screamer. Even though it's a V4 engine, but in comparison to the R1, I'd say that it's more like a screamer. And so that presents challenges where you're trying to get the power down, but it's wants to spin and slide a lot. The Yamaha definitely produces its power at lower RPM, and it's more tractable sort of power, more usable, rideable power. Which does a couple of things. One, it sort of makes it easy to ride, but also two, it seems to look after the tyre a bit better. And then on top of that, the chassis is significantly different between the two bikes, and I feel like the Ducati to me was more like I call it like a tank or a bloody it's like a bus. It just doesn't want to turn very well. Whereas the Yamaha, it's light and nimble and just steers really, really good. So. But that's obviously comparing to the Desmo Sport Ducati. It's obviously different to Wayne's Ducati, and I don't know why that is.
Thank you.
Hey guys, Matt O'Connell, Australian Motorcycle News. Congrats on a good weekend of racing. It was awesome from the lot of you, really good. My question's for Wayne. Wayne, you looked like you were really up against it this weekend, more than other weekends, and you really had to work hard to get that final result in race 2. How difficult was it to keep yourself relaxed, because you really looked like you were trying to just not let it get the better of you and let your emotions get out of control? How close was it to actually tipping over?
Yesterday afternoon I basically got off the bike and went down the other end, went down to the last corner and just hung out for a little bit because I was about to have a meltdown. So, yeah, it was a very trying weekend. You know, it's not even the weekend. I think it's the accumulation of, you know, what started in race 1 at Phillip Island that, you know, was, you know, just something random that started there, and then it sort of snowballed into Queensland. You know, that was another drama, and then obviously, you know, we thought, okay, we've got to put a stop to it, and we, you know, thought we'd put a stop to it, and then we had a problem yesterday. So look, it's a difficult time, but the guys, you know, they always take full responsibility on there, and my guys, which is really comforting. You know, they never point the blame at me if I don't win. They're like, sorry, we couldn't give you a good enough bike. They never say, well, what happened or anything like that. So the environment's really, really good like that. So, yeah, I can't thank them enough for, you know, they're the ones that really got me back to where I needed to be. So this, you know, you've done it a million times before. Let's just get it done and go from there.
So it's a bit of relief coming back in the park for me with Craig.
Oh, yeah, it's relief for him because, I mean, I'm sitting here with these two guys. They're factory guys. Like, I'm a privateer. You know what I mean? Like, and everyone, like, that's what people forget. Craig builds a bike out of his garage at home. So it's not really, you know, even though we've got reasonable funding and all the rest of it, he still does. He doesn't get any money, or no one in the team gets any money. They're here volunteering their own time. So their only reward is winning races.
Yeah, it's good to see. Well done, guys. Well done.
Anyone else? Nope. All right. Well, that wraps up the final press conference here for round 3 at Wakefield Park for the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul. Thank you to all our media attendees and to our riders for coming along. Congratulations to our winners. We'll see our Superbike riders in a few weeks It feels like it should have been months, but a few weeks up in Darwin for some lovely warm weather, and we'll catch the rest of you for the following round. But from here at Wakefield Park, it's good evening.